Greetings everyone and welcome back to the Hobby Bench for another episode of Bonus Bias. Coming up soon, I will have been collecting Transformers for 1 year, and I kind of wanted to do another video on them because I wanted to give an update. Maybe do a video explaining to you why I love them so much, and maybe it would interest you in giving one a chance. But these have by far been one of my favorite toys that I have gotten. Not even toys. My favorite hobbies, sorry Grimlock, that I have gotten into in the past, not even year, but 5 years. I have enjoyed getting back into Transformers so much because it has allowed me to relive a part of my childhood that I really never thought I'd be able to. It allows me to just have that sort of childlike joy again in something that I'm not embarrassed about or whatever. You think it's stupid that I play with toys? Great. Awesome, dude. Shows me how insecure you are. Pew, pew, pew. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I really do love these things. It has been really awesome to get into a hobby that's not ballad songs. It's not headphones. It's not technology. It's like this. I know I made a video recently about Hot Wheels, and that is like the ultimate cheap hobby. But Transformers have also been a very cheap hobby for me because you can get something like Gears here that people recommend very highly for $20-$30. And the prices are going up thanks to global problems, which is awesome. But, it's not that bad. Voyagers are going up $8, which is just actually awful. And I hate it. Anyway. I've just loved Transformers. The beauty about Transformers to me is that you get 4 toys in one, really. You get a fully posable action figure that you can, play. What the heck? Go away. That you can get, you can play with. You can make the fake explosion sounds. You can smash them together. You can make them fight and do whatever a kid would. And they're just fun to mess around with. Like, you put them in different poses. You make them fight each other. You make them go on a spaceship or whatever you want to do. It's up to your imagination. You can also just stick them on a shelf, but we'll get into that in one of the later reasons. But you also, in this package, get a toy car or a toy dinosaur, whatever their alt mode happens to be, you get a toy of that too. So you can get, a construction vehicle along with your big robot, or you can get a toy dinosaur along with your big robot. And I just think that's really cool. You can get this little cassette, which happens to turn into a little rhinoceros, which is just cute. Like there's just a lot of little fun gimmicks with these guys that you can get into. And I just really like that. So you have the action figure, you have the alt mode. They're also great display pieces. Whether you want to put them in a diorama or you want to do what I do and kind of pose them in different ways to make them look cool and then change the way that you're posing them and so that you can pull them off the shelf and still use them even though that they're a display piece. They still have some use to them. I find that to be really cool. Stick them up on a shelf and have them do something or make them look cool in your room. I love displaying things. I love the display potential of not only Transformers, but a lot of the different things that I collect. So you get all of these different toys in one. But the final one, and what I think to be the most influential for me personally, especially when it comes to recently, is you get a fidget toy and a 3D puzzle. 3D puzzle / fidget toy. And the reason that I say both of those in one is because it doesn't really, it doesn't stay a 3D puzzle. I need something. Will this work? It doesn't stay a 3D puzzle. No, that won't work. Okay. Shoot. Try this. It's not a sharp knife. That works perfectly. Fall slide blade. Anyway, where was I? So the reason I say those together is because it doesn't stay a 3D puzzle. But one thing that I have found a lot of joy in is getting a Transformer out of the box, ignoring its instructions, and then trying to figure out if I can figure out how they transform. Because it's like genuinely kind of something that you learn over the time that you use them. You'll start to notice things like these little tabs and these little holes that the tabs go into. And it kind of gives you like clues onto where things are supposed to go. And I just find that fascinating. And I find it so much fun. I originally used to do the instructions because I just was like, I don't want to. I remember when I was little, there was, what will it take to get you to stand up straight, Mixmaster? Anyway, when I was little, I used to have these toys that I would have, or I used to have these Transformers, and I realized after like, you know, a year of playing with these guys that I had them transformed completely wrong. Like there was one specific Optimus, it was one of the live action Optimus toys, that his feet were just always wrong on mine. And I always thought it was weird that they just kind of like, the feet on him kind of sucked. Like they never really properly worked well, only to find out that I had them transformed the complete wrong way, which was, you know, it was annoying to say the least, but I was also 12, 13, so it didn't really matter that much. But that kind of put me into a place where I was like afraid that that would happen if I just tried to figure out Transformers on my own. Like I would miss some crucial step or something like that, and then I would be mistransforming this guy for years after that, you know? So I kind of got over that, and I started just transforming them, like just trying to figure out how they work. If I got stuck on something, I'd look at the instructions, but I mean like really stuck. If I was spending like an hour or two trying to figure out how this freaking deluxe class worked, then I was probably missing something pretty obvious that I would then have to look at the instructions for. But anyway, they end up being 3D puzzles really only once or twice. Once you get down the transformation, you know, you're not like discovering how you're going to or how this guy transforms. You're not using context clues to figure out where this guy's arms go in alt mode or whatever. So that's why I say that they're also a fidget toy, because once you learn them and once you actually know how their transformations are supposed to go, then they become kind of fidgets that you can just mess with. And I find that really, really cool. I have talked previously on my other channels about how I would play Valorant, you know, die and wait for the next round, and I would flip a battle song in the meantime. And recently, I will have a Transformer on my desk, and I will just start transforming him. And it'll be a process that'll maybe take a few rounds, because I can't get it all done in like 30 seconds or whatever, but I just pick him up, put him down, pick him up, put him down, pick him up, put him down until he's transformed. And then I'll go like back and forth, back and forth. Some of the Transformers have like really, really stupidly good engineering. And I'll just throw them back and forth, and it'll be like this really fun thing. Or maybe I'll pose them. Maybe I'll get Grimlock here into this like action pose where he's ready to fight and he's ready to take on the whole world. And I don't know, it's just fun. Because some like this Optimus Prime, which is probably my favorite Transformer that I own, period, just is absolutely peak in the engineering department. But yeah, I truly do believe that they offer a lot of value for that reason. You can get all of these different play functions out of them and all these different play patterns, whether you just want to put them back and forth, whether you want something that you can display on a shelf, whether you just want a toy truck. I mean, if you're just getting a Transformer to have a toy truck, maybe it's not the greatest value at that point. Maybe there's other things that you can get at that point. But hey, I mean, if that's how you want to enjoy them, there's literally no wrong way to enjoy these guys. And I think that's pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I'm just an absolutely a rediscovered huge fan of Transformers, I guess. Because if you've missed my previous video on these, I have collected these in the past. And I'm getting back into them now because I went to see Transformers 1. It was really good, and I bought one of the toys from that line just as like let's get a throwback to the good old days. And then I bought another one, and then I bought another one, and then I bought another one. And now we're at the point where you've seen in my apartment tour where I own, you know, a lot of them again, which is, it's cool. I just can't overstate how much I enjoy them because it just is so much fun. And I do really highly recommend, if you're maybe getting back into it or getting into it for the first time, it won't be everyone's cup of tea, but try it without the instructions. I think it's a really genuinely fun time to try and figure out how a figure goes together using clues about like the different panels. Where could they go? Oh, I think this panel might go here because of this connection that I see or whatever. It's just fun. And that is kind of the fun of opening a new Transformer for me. But like I said, you get so many different things out of it, because once I'm done with it being a mystery, then I have something that I can, mess with, fidget with, flip back and forth, pose on a shelf, etc. My current collections that I'm going for, I'm really focused in... I've got a shelf. My shelf has kind of changed. I got rid of... I can't connect these yet because I have to do this. I forgot about that. I got rid of the Michael Bay shelf. I really just don't like the Bay movies of Transformers. I know there's a lot of people that got into them because of them. Actually, I was one of those kids who watched the 2007 movie when I was a little older and thought that was really cool, and then got a bunch of the Michael Bay toys. But looking back on it, not my cup of tea anymore. So my main collections that I'm getting now are G1, the 13 Primes, which is part of the new toy line that they're doing, and then the War for Cybertron series. And that's pretty much what I've been focusing on. Here we have Optimus Prime in his truck. That's peak. That is... Oh, I didn't do this part, actually. That engineering is actually like 100% peak. He is so much fun to mess with. I used to bring this guy to work and just fidget with him when I was bored. They're just fun, dude. But yeah, I'm collecting G1, the Primes, and then War for Cybertron from 2012, that era, those two games that came out, like PS3, Xbox 360 era, I think. Because those are great games, but... Dude, these little toys are so much fun, and I love them, and I think that you should give one a chance, maybe. Maybe you see a guy you like. It can get expensive real fast when you start to see some collections that you want to get going, but I think it's worth it. I freaking love them. Hopefully, you have enjoyed my little ramble session. Thank you so much for watching, and watching me fidget around with these plastic children's toys. I will see you all in the next one. Later.